And dude, I feel like in the last couple weeks, we have just been praying together on the phone and asking the Lord to just open up, take us into the depths of his love. What are the height, the riches? What are the riches of your love? The height, the depth, the width, the length. It's Ephesians 3:16, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
We've been beginning to pray that together on the phone. And we found ourselves just like with such a tender heart, just weeping, dude, like going throughout our days.
Yeah, really from Good Friday on.
Going throughout our days, like I'm reading the word and I'm like weeping over a passage. I'm like, man, what is going on? Or I'm like during a worship time, like getting just touched.
I've The Chosen is a very popular show sweeping through Christianity and hopefully beyond.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of behind the game, haven't watched many episodes, but I told my friends that I watched with, I've read the script, I've read the Gospels, so let's just
I don't
play.
need to watch the
I don't need to
show.
go back through. Let's just play whatever episode you guys are on. And I just am weeping at this Chosen episode and watching Jesus and his heart for the lost.
Yeah.
And his patience and his kindness towards the disciples, even in rebuking them.
Yeah.
And his just, I'm watching a God who is humble. And
so it's like we're like weeping over Jesus stuff,
Yes.
but it's like actually even in our everyday lives, like
Yeah.
I'm watching Survivor, and like there's like a moment on there that's really touching. And I find myself tears rolling down my eyes. Unusually tender is basically what we're describing.
yes.
And we both kind of connected just through our phone calls. And we're like, man, this, talking, sharing, we're like both feeling this. And we're like, dude, this, I believe this is connected to, directly correlated to the fact that we've been asking
For
Jesus,
fresh grace.
fresh grace to take us into your heart, Lord.
Yeah.
Show us more of who you are. And next thing you know, our heart is tender
Yeah, and just you start to see things how he sees things.
through his lens.
Yeah, and John 11, Lazarus, Corey Russell calls it the longest verse in the Bible.
Wow.
Jesus wept.
Yeah.
And you see that Jesus is just so broken over watching sin and death in the world. And I think that there's something there that when we start to see things that aren't even necessarily about the Lord, just in our everyday life,
Yeah.
that cause us to just weep because he's given us a tender heart to see how he sees. And it's beautiful.
That's been one of the most powerful things in my life.
Yeah.
Is asking the Lord to let me see what you see. Let me feel what you feel. Whenever you begin to pray that, you begin to get the heart of the Lord for people.
Exactly. That's it.
Dude, and I even think of, I think it's Matthew 9, whenever Jesus looks at the crowd, he sees the people, he sees that they're harassed like sheep without a shepherd. And he turns to his disciples and he goes, the harvest is plentiful, the laborers are few, therefore pray to the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers. There's so much to unpack in that passage. And I think there's a few different reasons why he told them to pray to the Lord of the harvest to send forth laborers rather than get in there. But I think one of the reasons why he said that, before you guys go to the harvest, before you guys go into this crowd that desperately needs you, I want you to pray to me. I think it's because in that place of prayer, they get the heart of the Lord for the people. It's almost like Jesus was like looking at the crowd and he's like, I need you guys to feel what I'm feeling towards them before you go minister to them. Otherwise, it's going to be in your own strength. Otherwise, you're going to misrepresent me. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. Whatever it is. Jesus knew they needed what he had. And it's like, the place that you get that is in the place of prayer.
Yeah.
That's where we get his heart.
Yeah. There's a book called Thoughts for Young Men by J.C. Ryle. Great book. But he's describing prayer, and he just goes, it's the lifeblood of a Christian's life.
Yeah.
Like, it is everything.
Yeah.
And And that is exactly it. When you start to pray and go to the secret place,
Yeah.
and it starts to get the truth on the inside.
It's so good.
And hey, from the inside out. From the inside out.
That's right.